Yo, what's up? So basically today I'm gonna be talking about to start I was on YouTube and I saw it was just a normal poll on Minato versus Gojo, and I left a comment. A lot of people, I think there's a comment that said, I forget by who, that said Minato couldn't get past infinity. And so my video is kind of debunking that, as well as just kind of my thoughts on Minato versus Gojo, as well as also I briefly talked about, because I had an argument with a couple people, like a debate, just like over texting. I'm also briefly going to talk about, and I'll make a longer video about this, about if where I scale Luffy, because someone had mentioned that that Solar System Luffy was crazy, which is, I mean, there's more context behind it, but that'll just be for a later part. And I'm just going to talk about a little bit here, but the main part I want to talk about, oh no, my setup fell, is Gojo versus Minato. So my main problem with Minato not being able to pass infinity, and I think he can, pretty obviously, is because people get this wrong so much. There's a thing called verse equalization, and that means if there's two characters in two separate verses, you need to equalize things so the match can make sense. For example, right? Like Ichigo versus Saitama, okay? That's I mean, personally, I think it's kind of even, because I think they're both around universal. But if we did not have verse equalization, Saitama wouldn't even be able to see Ichigo, because obviously he's a I forget what they call him, but you know, fake Bleach fan. But anyway, you get the point. With this fight, chakra and the, oh my god, I'm so dumb, chakra and the shit they use in Jujutsu Kaisen are curse energy. It would be equalized, right? So what that would mean is that they work in the same way. And kind of what I want to do is I want to read you, I have this pulled up right now, this versus battle wiki. Hopefully y'all can see it well. But and versus battle wiki is kind of ass at scaling. They're very bad. But the rules in versus battle wiki is pretty good. This is what I want to read you. Kind of the main thing is this. I'm gonna put it back here and then read it myself. There we go. Okay. And it says, similar supernatural aspects of verses get equalized in a reasonable fashion. So a supernatural energy that almost everyone in a verse has, which is necessary to fight the character of said verse, will be assumed to be the equivalent energy that the opponent uses in their techniques, so that proper fights can happen. And that's for verse equalization. And then also what I wanted to talk about, hold on, where is it? Okay, so when I was talking to when I was debating with the people that I was debating with, someone made actually a pretty good point. It was, let me see if I can pull it up here. Yeah, it's from this guy, from Slate8409. He said, and he said a bunch of stuff, but the one thing, none of this close to fire Raijin is just spiritual, but everyone is regarding control and teleport him. Meaning I should touch him. Hold on. Okay. Gojo conversely has a solid win condition in Ultimate Void. He only needs to catch Minato with it once, and domain deployments are basically instant AoE. So, here's my thing, right? I actually, fuck, I should have looked this up before. I need to look up if domains are instant. Domain instant. Sorry, I should. Okay. So I'm getting some conflicting stuff just from a basic Google search saying that some are and some aren't. Assuming Gojo's is instant, right? So, assuming is instant, Minato would, for verticalization, would most likely know that Gojo, what he can do, what his powers are, stuff like that. And I'm gonna read this from the verse equalizer, or from the wiki, the battles wiki. Knowledge in other character verses. The character knows the direction their opponent starts in. Furthermore, they get knowledge of the character's appearance equivalent to the knowledge they could have gained if they would have been allowed to briefly observe the form opponents start in, using their sense of sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch equivalent. So basically that, I didn't read all of it. Basically that means they would have some sort of understanding of how each other's abilities work. So that would possibly mean that either A, Minato knows that Gojo has domain expansion, and if he uses it, it's a one-shot, which I agree. If Gojo uses it and he hits Minato, that is a one-shot, because what the thing does, it gives you infinite knowledge in your head and you like fucking explode or some shit, right? But from what I just read, Minato would know that either he has it or it's instant. If he knows it's instant, the fight is over, because Minato can pretty easily one-shot Gojo. The stats, like the difference in stats is crazy. Here's just this is just like a small feat. This is when let me show you that. You can see it. So that is the Ninetales chakra, and is being compared to a planet, which would make the Ninetales planetary. Also, there's a statement that the Ninetales can like burn the world or something, which also would be planetary. Minato has, obviously been relevant to the Ninetales, and also surpass him. Of course, we have like Chubby cloaks, stuff like that give multipliers, sage mode, everything like that. And I am going to be using calc stacking, because I do think it's a correct way of gaining like how many or how strong someone is. And I believe just off the top of my head, you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that it's like a 10 times amp for like QB1. I think QB2 is like also a 10 times amp. But that would make him like, what is this, star level plus, like solar system level? No, like star level. I don't really know, like if someone has a planetary feat, or someone scales to a planetary feat, and then they have a 10 times multiplier, what I assume is that you go up one, which is star level, right? And then from star level to solar system level. We'll just put Minato, for the sake of the argument, at star level. Or no, we'll do large planetary, right? Speed, obviously Minato is faster. Minato is MFTL plus. Things like people in just regular Naruto being like lightning dodgers, with Kakashi being able to catch a lightning bolt, and like chapter I don't know, like 100, like in the tuning exams, right? It was stated. Obviously we have people like the fourth Raikage, the lightning guy, and then Naruto just blitzes him in like 2 seconds, and that's like a base Naruto or a Sage mode, I don't remember. There's so many feats for just Naruto in general, like War Arc Naruto being massively faster than light. The Jujutsu Kaisen universe is not, the AP is okay. There's things like this. Here, let me put it like this. Just see it for a little bit. I don't know if y'all can see it. Basically, that feat, I forget who it is, but there's a character that created a black hole, and that black hole was stated to be, or to be able to like consume the earth or something like that. And there was also a statement I was trying to find that I couldn't find of Gojo being stated to like destroy society or something like that. I don't know. So there's somewhat consistent ways to put Jujutsu Kaisen top tiers in planetary. The thing that's really bad is their speed. Speed is incredibly important in any fight, any versus battle. Incredibly important. Usually when it's two people from the same verse, it's fine. Like for example, like I don't know, like Luffy versus Big Mom, right? Like their speed is, you can calc them pretty easy because they're in the same verse, right? And they're all gonna obviously they're all gonna scale to massively faster than light because, you know, the Luffy dodge and then he gets a billion times stronger and then everything like that. That's easy because they're the same verse. This is different, right? But so there's calcs that Hollow Purple is light speed, which I can kind of agree with. You know, say it to be like antimatter or something like that. I don't know. And it was calc to be light speed. So if you want to give Jujutsu Kaisen light speed, you can do that. There's also like, which I need to pull up right now, which I haven't pulled up. JJK Supersonic Feet manga panel. There's a super big anti-feat in Jujutsu Kaisen where I forget who it was. She was stated to be like the speed of sound, and that was like pressing like top tiers, which is like a horrible speed feat. Let me see this. Come in for a second. Oh my god, that's so small. Hold on. Why is that so? I think it was calculated to be like Mach 3, Mach 4, which is really bad. That was really zesty. I don't know why I said it like that. I'm so unprepared. I'm sorry. I cannot find it right now. It was this girl though. It was this girl. Yeah, I cannot find it though. I'm sorry to everyone. If anyone knows what I'm referencing, you can put in the comments, or I can try to find it. But I swear, you know, if anyone knows Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm sure they've seen that feat. And it, you know, it can be, you know, what they call it, an outlier. But to give them the best, right? I have Gojo, speed of light speed. We can give him planetary, just from the black hole feat and stuff like that, right? We can give him planetary. Minato scales higher than that, around star level, because of, like I said, the Nine Tails feat, and that he upscales. You know what? I guess same with the black hole feat, they would upscale too. But I know there's a lot more feats from Naruto. Like Naruto generally scales a lot higher than Jujutsu Kaisen, like in most ways. Like I said with this, there's also obviously the Kaguya feat, which I count this Kaguya, the famous Kaguya feat right here. Let's see right there. So it's bad quality, but I count that to star level because we see in Boruto that Naruto and Sasuke go into one of those dimensions that Kaguya creates, and there's seen to be a star and a planet in there, which would be like a large star level. Could be galaxy solar system level, but probably large star level. Obviously Minato, even like Kubiko KCM2, doesn't scale to Kaguya, but you know, I'm just saying that Jujutsu Kaisen scales lower than Naruto, which I think we all can agree. I think we all agree that AP and speed and also hacks probably can go to Minato. The only thing we're discussing here is, can infinity, will that do anything? This is my final conclusion. I think that, judging by what I've read, that Minato would, and also Gojo would also know Minato's abilities, but I think Minato would know, right? Minato would know that Gojo can do this domain expansion, and possibly, I mean, he might not know it's a one hit, but he's like, bro, I'm not trying to get hit by that, right? So, so he, and he's massively faster than him. He's a lot stronger than him. So he's just range, bro. He's just ranging, and he speed bits, right? He speed blitzes. And with verse equalization, what I know is that if you're stronger than someone, the amount of hacks, the hacks that you have needs to be equal to the strength. So for example, like if I'm mainly a One Piece skiller, if I were to like with stuff with like Big Mom and Kid and Law, right? Law tried to shambles Big Mom, but he couldn't because the hockey was too strong. And I believe the same logic, maybe it doesn't, maybe I'm wrong, if it applies to all verses, but I like, if the verse needs to have something like that where hacks can't bypass, if you're stronger than someone. But I think here it does, because Minato obviously stronger. So by proxy, because infinity is a hack, he would bypass it because he has a lot more AP, and then one-shot him. That's for me. If we're saying he cannot do that, I believe it's a stalemate. Because Minato can't do anything to Gojo, Gojo can't do anything to Minato, because Gojo is too slow. He's too slow. I have so many panels to prove he is too slow. I wish I could find the supersonic panel. I can't. But there's, whatever speed feat you want to go with in Jujutsu Kaisen. They're not massively faster than like Minato is. Right? Also, I don't know if I didn't show any feats on panels. But I mean, you can look this stuff up. You can look up Naruto Master Faster Than Light. There's many people that are a lot smarter than me in this stuff that can prove to you better. But so either Minato wins because verse equalization one shot, or Minato ties with Gojo because Minato can't do anything about infinity and Gojo cannot catch him. It doesn't matter if he hits him with one thing. Hollow Purple will not. No, Hollow Purple will work because it's a durability neg. Same with infinity, or not infinity, same with domain expansion. But he cannot hit them with that. The only way Gojo wins is if we ignore what verse equalization said about knowledge in other character verses, where Minato just has no knowledge about what Gojo can do. He comes up to him, and then for some reason, Gojo just immediately domain expansions one-shots him. I'm fine with that. That means, okay, Gojo can win like that. But what I'm saying is that's not how it works. How it works is they're both going to know each other's stuff. So the only ways they can go is Minato wins or they tie. That's it. And then for everyone who... And that part is done. And just the small... The small section for One Piece, just everyone can go. This is just for that one guy who asked me. So I believe that One Piece is solar system level, large star level. Many reasons why. Obviously, you have the classic Whitebeard feat where Sengoku's told Whitebeard that he had the power to destroy the world, or he had the power to destroy the planet, or whatever. I don't know what it was. So many people say, oh, it just means society, right? Which would make it multi-continental, not planetary. But we know that the One Piece planet is a lot bigger. We don't know how much bigger. What I usually do is, just because we don't know how much bigger, I would just go one tier up. So if Whitebeard, the statement that Sengoku said was multi-continental, it would still be planetary. And if it's planetary, it would be like large planetary or star level. Keep in mind, this is an extremely weak, almost dead, no hockey, very old Whitebeard. He could have been talking about Prime Whitebeard. And okay, fine. If he was talking about Prime Whitebeard, the verse probably scale caps like star level, right? Because there's people that are equal to Whitebeard. You know, Prime Roger, Prime Rocks is probably higher. Emu is higher. You know, Jorbe is probably higher, right? But the verse would probably cap out as like star level, right? But I'm like 99% sure he was talking about old Whitebeard. And old Whitebeard was ass. So many people. Right now, Elbaf Luffy could go to Marineford and one-shot Whitebeard. Because he was so bad. He had no hockey. He had no hockey. What is he? He has no hockey. Absolutely no hockey. And, you know, the Marineford arc is so hard to scale. Super hard to scale. But, you know, I mean, and there's other statements. There's Fujitor being able to freeze, I believe it was an entire ocean. It might have not been, but he did that. Well, there's the Don Chinjiao continental feat where he breaks the continent of ice with his head. That could be outlier, or it could just like not be a mountain or a continent. There was a in versus battle wiki, there was calcs for the head split, and apparently it wasn't a continent. But also, I generally only use versus battle wiki for the rules of battles and not the scaling, because some of their scaling is whack as shit. Sure, like you can watch Tyler's video on versus battle being bad. He kind of sums it up there. But just in proxy to for Luffy, I have Luffy over old Whitebeard. Old Whitebeard is planetary. Arguably higher, we'll just say planetary for this, right? Planetary, that makes Luffy either star level or higher, right? Because it would put him one tier up. At least that's how I see it, right? Maybe that doesn't make sense, but he's definitely a lot stronger than old Whitebeard, because he has, you know, because Luffy has access to all three, you know, gears, or all three hockey and everything like that, and Whitebeard does not, because he's so old, so sick, right? You know, and we really don't know. We don't know a lot about like Kaido, like where he scales, because like obviously Luffy beat Kaido, but I think, you know, a healthy Kaido with like nothing, like, you know, him not being drunk or being you know, grieving and stuff like that, like just a healthy one-on-one, like Luffy's losing that like pretty easily, right? But just right now, you know, I have him at star level. I said solar system because you know, I've seen people get him the solar system because, again, like I said, you know, this is the boogeyman for some people probably, but calc stacking, you know, we've seen Gear 2 be like a 10 times whatever, Gear 3 be like a 10 times stack, like, you know, so yeah, that's about it. I kind of went on pretty long. It's 23 minutes, but almost 24. But yeah, that's kind of what I think about that. If y'all want to, you know, leave comments, we can debate in the comment section. You know, the people that were debating me, I'm gonna tell them that this video came out because I told them that I would be making a video. But yeah, that's about it, I think. I'm looking forward to more of versus battles. Hopefully I can get people like on my I joined a Discord for power scaling, and I might debate people on there, but I kind of want to debate people on YouTube and like bring them to like and give them my Discord, and then we can debate on Discord. But yeah, that's about it. All right, peace.